Okay, we're back. Once again, I'm here with the mysterious man.
Hello, everyone.
All right. And right on cue, we're going to go ahead and start talking today about um, how respect is extremely important to a man and his masculinity. The minute a man loses his respect, that's when he loses his friends, he loses the people around him, because love is based upon respect and trust. So it's very important for us to keep that. We'll let Mr. Mysterious Man go ahead and start it off.
Okay, let's see here. So I was thinking about this the other night, and there's been a few people in my life that I ended up getting to know them a lot better, seeing the true colors, so to speak, right? And I realized that they were very dishonest, very ungenuine, full of empty promises, full of just fakeness all around, and now that I think of it, really think of it in hindsight, how can I respect somebody if I think that they're just totally full of it? You know, I don't think it's possible, because when somebody is dishonest, that means that their word is not valuable at all. They don't have any integrity, so I just don't see it being possible to respect somebody like that. Your thoughts on it, Tiger?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they're being dishonest, usually when people are being dishonest because they're trying to hide something, that's the first thing. Second, they are, one lie will have to cover another lie. Then that lie, they have to lie to cover that lie, and then that lie turns into a lot of lies.
Mhm.
So it's just a giant mess of lies, and unfortunately, people start seeing through that. It's very unfortunate. So
Yep.
my question to you is, what exactly? How did you start seeing? Where, like, when was the beginning stage of you actually saying, "Oh, this person I have to pay more attention to because now I'm starting to notice there's certain things that they're doing that are not good."
All right. Well, let me choose a person. Because there was a few examples I could think of. All right. Okay. An old friend of mine. Right. Now, you know how we do it here. Not really going to mention any names. And when we do mention names, they're not real names anyway, so whatever. But, this guy, I spent years working with him. And I started noticing that his words were not worth very much, because, see, we would make verbal agreements for things, whether it be, okay, we're gonna start at 5:30 today. All right, how's that sound? Oh, good, bro, good. Let's do it. 5:30 comes around. Start calling the guy. 5:30 turns into 6:30, turns into 9 o'clock. He's barely pulling up. Dude, where were you? Oh, my bad, bro. I was taking a nap. Well, okay, well, you agreed uh, to meet me 3 hours ago, and you didn't even have the consideration to at least tell me, like, an hour in advance, hey, look, I'm really sorry. I know we agreed on this time, that time, but I'm sorry, but some things came up. I'm actually very, very tired. I need a little rest after all. I'm sorry. And if he would have done that, I would have considered that to be acceptable, because, hey, at least the guy's keeping me in the loop. At least he's being honest. But no, there was none of that. Total lack of consideration, total lack of respect for my time, for everybody else that was involved in the project's time. And so after a while of that, every time he would propose something like, "Hey, let's try this, let's do that." Yeah, 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 sure, dude. Okay, whatever you say. I'll believe that when you actually do it. So that's the situation there.
Okay. Yeah. So, in that type of situation, you have certain people that are, it's like their mind wants to go and do these things, but their body does not follow. It's because they're missing that inspiration. They're missing that
Yeah,
ambition. You know,
yeah.
it's
And the discipline too, most of all.
yeah. But discipline is extremely important for us as men. Being
Yeah.
able to put down the video game, the beer,
Hmm.
the smoke,
Hmm.
being able to put that
Hmm.
down, that comes from discipline. It's very
Yeah.
hard, especially if that's what you've been doing. And like, let's say you're an addict. Most addicts, they'll pick up one addiction to go to the other addiction. I say that
Hmm.
because I did that myself. I went from one thing to the other, not
Yeah.
knowing what I was doing and how it was damaging my life. So I can understand that part, on that guy's side. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's really hard after somebody has let you down, to
Hmm.
want to keep continuing to rely on them, because
Yeah.
relationships are based not only between men and women. They're based on us being able to trust the other person, that their word
Hmm.
is bond, you know
Yes.
and as a man, that's a big thing, is we have to trust our word. And if we said it, unfortunately, whether we want to or not, we got to do it. We got to pull through. And that's just
Mm.
us as men, because we hold ourselves to that type of standard. Of
Yeah.
course, women hold us to that standard as well. It's just that it's a double standard on their side, because a lot of the times they'll say, "Yeah, yeah, we'll go out that weekend," and then the weekend comes and she's like making excuses why she can't go out. And then if you're uh, if you're not that smart when it comes down to that type of situation, then you're gonna be led to believe that, oh, next week we'll do it. And then you know she's gonna lead you on and lead you on. It's the same thing with
Hmm.
with this guy. From what I hear, is the guy was practically kind of just what they call blowing smoke up your butt, getting you all
Hmm.
excited, um, getting you to do these things. You're ready to go, everything's ready to go, and he doesn't show up. you know so I mean, that comes with trust. And once you, as a man, once the trust, the respect is lost, it's practically nobody wants to be around you. You have to find new friends, because the ones that you had already found out who you were. And that's
Yeah.
that's a big
Exactly.
problem as a man, when you can lie and you can
Yeah.
BS to a certain
Yeah.
extent. But at some point,
Hmm.
guys are gonna realize this guy is just lying. You
Yeah.
know,
Exactly.
because I mean, I know guys that they are like great. I mean, they're excellent at calling somebody else out, and they'll put them on blast. They're like more than
Yeah.
happy to put them on blast, and they'll even add on to it, like little lies that about the situation to
Hmm.
make the other person look really, really bad. But that's what they do. You know what I mean? That's how they roll. And but the problem is they'll call people out, but when you call them out, then it becomes a problem. Then
Hmm.
they start trying to hide because they can't take accountability. Again, that's a more of a feminized characteristic from a guy, where you flake out. Women do that. The
Hmm.
reason why they do that is because some of them are afraid, and a lot of them are somewhat lazy. A lot of
Hmm.
them I have problems with the commitment and respecting what they say, because again, they're going based upon the emotion. So at the moment that you talk to them and you agree to this, they had that great emotion, right? 2-3 days down the line, you made plans with this girl, and then all of a sudden that day she's now going through a different emotion. It's not the same emotion she had that other day. So now she's making her decision based upon that emotion. So now she's flaking out on you.
Yeah.
So it's the exact same, I guess, feminized characteristics that some guys have, where they'll go out there and they'll tell people, yeah, we're gonna do this, and that, and then when it comes down to it, they don't show up. And that's a weak man in itself, because again, like I said, our word is bond. When we say we're gonna be there, we're gonna be there. I'd rather hear, you know what, I can't make it, than to hear, I'm gonna be there, and then you don't show up. There's that's just like one of the worst things you could do as a guy. And you do it to yourself as a guy, because you're only hurting yourself, because everybody else is seeing it. You think you're doing it to somebody else, but in reality you're hurting yourself, because now you're closing doors. All these doors are being closed because you don't understand what you're doing, and because you're feeling that emotion one day, then the next time you're feeling a different emotion, and oh well, my word is, I just said that because I was in the moment. That any guy that says I said that because I was in the moment can't control his emotions.
Precisely.
That's just the straight out truth. You can't even refute that. There's no way to refute that. If you're a man and you say, oh well, I was just in the moment, so you were emotional at that moment, you said what you weren't supposed to say, and now you want to act like a man, and you want me to act like a man towards you. That just sounds insane. So that's that kind of like that feminine double standard too, is where certain people feel they can do certain things and the others can't. So it's a very tricky situation, because now let's move that into a relationship, like between you and your wife, and let's say you changed your mind on something, but you have no logic, you have no reason why you changed your mind. Is she still gonna respect you? She's gonna be like, well, why did he change his mind? What happened? Why is he doing this? How come he's not explaining it? Is he a man of his word? So then that's how a woman starts asking all these these kind of I'm scared type of, is he protecting me or not, type of subconscious questions that she asks herself. So that's where I guess us as men, that's where our value really comes in, because if you can trust yourself, then other people will be able to trust you. Because I mean, let's be clear here. When I tell you, hey, you know what, I'm gonna do something, we do it, right? Sometimes we can be late, and sometimes we explain our situations, even to us. That's just us being professional. Because like I said,
not only that, but it's basic courtesy,
right? It's courtesy.
Yep.
Courtesy.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know.
It's not that hard to just. I'm sorry. Continue, please.
No, sorry. Keep going, because it's just it's amazing to hear.
Yeah, it's just look, just if you're gonna be late, look, hey bro, here's the reason why. I'm sorry about that. Life's happening at the moment. I'm gonna be tardy. I'm very sorry about that, but I'll be here soon. Just something like that. You got to keep your partners in the loop. Your professional partners, your whoever, anybody, everybody, right? That's just basic courtesy. That's the respect of it. That's it's just the right thing to do, all in all.
Yeah. So I mean, it's so then we can go back to the part where the man and the woman come in, and if the man flakes, it's a terrible thing. But if a woman flakes, it's now a normal thing. Is that, oh, she flaked on you? Don't even talk to her no more, right? That's the best way to deal with somebody like that. And it's the same thing with your friend, or who used to be his friend, your friend. You could only take so much of that until you actually start saying, okay, well, this person is just BSing me. It's time to move on. Because you can outgrow people.
Yeah,
There,
you definitely can.
there,
That's for sure.
there's such a thing as outgrowing people. You know, like if you all of a sudden, like if you're constantly drinking with these buddies, um,
Hmm.
and you guys are constantly going out, and then one day you realize, man, I've wasted so much money, I've wasted so much time, I feel like crap, I don't have anything, maybe I should stop going out so much and, putting poison in my body, right?
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
that's when you start outgrowing the people that you're around. That's the first
yeah,
step to it. And then after that, you actually go through the hard decision of actually stop drinking and stop partying and messing around, because
yeah.
you're not getting those dopamine hits anymore. So
Hmm.
it's now you have to stimulate yourself in other ways. So it's a difficult situation in the beginning, of course, but once you grow out of it and you look back in hindsight, then you're gonna be like, man, that's the best decision I ever made, because
Yeah,
you don't have anybody wasting your time. You're not out there risking your life practically, driving in the middle of the night. Let's say you drank, let's say somebody else drank, you're still risking your life if you're in a car. So all that stuff kind of starts to come into play, and you're risking your life. You never know what can happen when you're at a club or at a party. It's very, very, very unpredictable situation to be in, because some people, again, you can have a guy that's extremely emotional, and that guy that's extremely emotional felt a certain emotion. Now he turns to his violent side, and now somebody's getting hurt or somebody's getting damaged. Who knows what else can happen? And you see it
yeah,
all the time. You see it all the time on the news. People you may
yeah.
know, you hear about it. So I mean, it's not like it's not something that barely happens. That's not. It's not even a rarity anymore. It's kind of like, it can't
Of
happen.
course not.
That's the
It
sad
happens.
part.
It is sad. Yeah, I know a guy. Just a very quick one. I know we're a little pressed for time. So he, once again, another old friend I don't really hang around with anymore because the lifestyle change is just completely different. They're doing their thing. I'm doing mine. Well, one night he was drinking at work actually because where this guy works now it's all a very under the table kind of thing. He works security for parties, stuff like that, quinceañeras at a party hall. Apparently his employer is perfectly fine with all of them drinking on the job, right? So one night they're working a party, and this old friend of mine, he's pretty well known for getting pretty angry after he's been drinking hard liquor. Beer doesn't really get him like that, but hard liquor does. So unfortunately, this guy, he had a few too many shots of wild turkey or whatever it was, I believe, and he ended up trying to square up with this guy for no logical reason, mind you, because other than him being drunk, they got along remarkably well. And so what happened was he tried to square up with the guy, and he ended up falling and chipping his own front tooth completely in half. And he was walking around like that for like 6 or 7 months until his insurance finally approved to fix his tooth. And and I recall telling him, "Well, dude, you know that hard liquor gets you like that, man. This is your fault. You know that you're walking around looking like a hillbilly with your tooth like that now, man. You knew that you get crazy after a few drinks. You know you try to do stupid things. So I hate to tell you this, dude, but this is kind of your karma. And you get to see it every morning when you wake up and look in the mirror now. Every time you brush your teeth, whatever, that should be your reminder right there. You know, lay off that hard liquor. Drink more water." But that's the end of that story.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's the same thing, because you kind of you kind of risk your life. You don't know it, of course, but you're out there kind of risking your life in a way, because you're out there. You're not completely conscious of what's going on, because you've been
Yeah.
drinking, so
Hmm.
you're impaired. Your vision is different. Your mentality is different.
Hmm.
So you're weaker,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you're not who you used to be, or who you are when you're sober.
Hmm.
So
Yes.
now you're out there thinking in a different way, acting in a different
Hmm.
way. Physically, you're not as
Hmm.
fast, as you can tell with this guy. Um,
Uh-huh.
he missed most likely a punch or something, fell forward, from what I hear, and
Yeah.
then he's got half a
He
tooth.
broke his tooth in half.
That's just it's like, what were you thinking? So
He wasn't.
he
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, my point exactly. He wasn't thinking, he wasn't being logical, because that impairment, all it is just pure emotion in that moment, right? Because if he was thinking, then he would have thought, well, hey, you know what? I like this guy. He's cool. He's never said anything wrong to me. He's never given me a reason to dislike him. So why am I about to try to fight him? Right?
Yeah, and he's that goes back to what we were saying. I think it was in the other episode where we were talking about practically like kind of borrowed feelings. So he really
Mm.
didn't have anything against this guy. It's just that
Yeah.
he was carrying something from somewhere else, brought it there
Mhm.
that
And just
night,
took it out on him.
and tried to take it out on somebody. Come to find out, he
Yep.
took it out on himself. Um,
Yep.
and when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Stupid prizes.
You know,
That's right.
so I mean, and then the thing is this, and we go back to what we were talking about in the beginning. How do you respect a guy like that?
Yeah. I mean, you can't really. I mean, because they don't have it together, man. There's just, if you do somehow trust a person like that, then that's like insanity, man. If you're feeling like people like that are trustworthy, then you have to do a lot of self-reflection.
Well,
But I don't think most people do respect people like that. People in the right mind, that is.
well, yeah. I can't respect a person like that because I can't trust them because they're unpredictable. You know,
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
I'm there's a big difference about being unpredictable. Let's say you're a man that's cornered. You've done absolutely nothing, but for some reason these two guys, or want to rob you or whatever, and you feel you could take them on, and all of a sudden your human strength, your superhuman strength kicks in, and you're able to get away from that situation. That's okay to be unpredictable at that moment, because, well, you have to survive. It's life and death.
Oh,
you know but now you're just a guy who's carrying around these emotions, and you don't
mm-hmm.
know when you're going to be triggered. You don't know when you're going to pop
Time
off.
bomb with leg.
Yeah. So we have absolutely no idea. Now I can't have you around me, because again, it's an instability. And I like,
Yeah.
I'm the type of person that likes being around situations where I can be safe at, one, and two, where I don't have to worry if the person next to me is going to try to take me out. And I don't have to do anything. I mean, apparently you don't have to do anything for a guy to have
Yeah.
an emotional episode and try to take you out.
Hmm.
So I mean, that's a very scary situation. So I can't
Yeah.
respect you. I can't trust you. So I can't be around you. Because that's the unpredictability is very bad for a man to have. Because again, when a man is emotional, he turns to anger, he turns to violence. When a woman's emotional,
Hmm.
she turns into manipulation and all these other feminine tactics that they use. But when it's a guy, they can use force. And if this guy is catches you off guard, you can get hurt. um
Yeah.
so those are the things you have to worry about. So then you start thinking to yourself, do I want to put myself in the situation with this guy? Probably not. Like, I wouldn't want to go out with that guy. That makes no sense. Now I'm gonna And then another thing is, you're babysitting this guy too. So now you're trying to
Yeah.
prevent him from getting into fights, preventing him from harassing somebody else. So it's like, and then
Yes.
they see you with him, and now they think, oh, he's just like him, because he's practically
Yeah.
enabling his bad behavior. So it's like,
Mhm.
it's a lose-lose situation when you meet a person,
Precisely.
when you meet a man that you can't respect or you can't trust. Because you have that guy who again will pop off at any time. That guy is not the guy you want to be around with, because that's just going to bring you problems. And then you have the other guys. This is probably one guy that you probably might have seen, where he's the instigator. He's the guy that likes to bring things up to see if he can stir the drama. And again, that is a feminine characteristic, where they want to spice it up because there's no drama. So they want that instant dopamine hit of that fear, of that excitement at that moment. So what they try to do is they try to instigate a bad situation with other people. So then that way they can feed off of that drama. And it's usually a guy who's like very feminized. Those guys, they love doing that because they know they can't fight. So since they can't fight, they want somebody else to fight, and they love to see somebody else lose, but they'll never put themselves in a situation to lose, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So
They want other people to be losing for them.
Yeah. So that's the type of guy that'll talk a lot of stuff and try to build a bad situation, but that guy will never step in the ring with anybody else. He'll never be able to, or a mat, or any type of controlled setting. He'll never step foot on it, because he knows it's one-on-one and there's nobody to save you. It's just you and that other man toe to toe. And there's a lot of guys like that. They love to instigate things. They want to have somebody else fight their battles, or they want to go ahead and manipulate the situation to their advantage by using somebody else's weakness or their emotion. And again, that goes back to the same thing, where that's a feminized characteristic, and they use it because it's the only way they feel that they're in power. But we go back to this first question: can you respect a man that does that? Right? I mean, I really don't respect the man that can't fight his own battles. I don't see that as, in any way do I see that as an actual man. Because first, he can't fight his own battles, and now he's using guys' emotions like a woman would to control that man. And that's just weird.
Yeah.
That's just weird to me right there. That just sounds weird.
100%.
Yeah, so I mean, there's different type of guys that you can tell, like the respect in a relationship between a man and a woman. If you're a man and sometimes men get depressed, and I don't know. Thank God I don't suffer from that well, not at this moment. So it's you can control it. You can. I've seen people control it. I've seen people get over it.
Yeah.
And
of course.
Yeah. So, but there's people that use that to their advantage to get pity.
Yeah.
And again, that's another part of that. That's a feminized characteristic. Again, where
Yeah, that's true.
you know, you get pity, you're the damsel in distress, come save me. It's the same thing that a guy would do, um, where he wants to become the victim so people could, I don't know, give him attention. I have no idea. Again, I don't have these situations. I've only seen these situations. I've never been in this type of situation, so I don't know exactly what the mentality is. All I can do is go based upon what I've seen, and what I've seen is women will, the nurturing part comes in. Unfortunately, they lose the respect for that man subconsciously. You can almost see them like changing, you know, in the
Yeah.
moment. It's crazy, because I practically saw this girl. She like completely went from like, I admire this guy, to what is this guy going through? Look how sad he looks. You know, she went from I respect him to like, wow, yeah, this is just another woman that I'm taking care of, practically, is what she was thinking. So when you look at it that way, you know, you could see that the respect is lost, you know.
Exactly.
And once the respect is lost, then I mean, the relationship usually comes to an end. um like, let's say, we'll show another part of respect where it's between a father and a son, you know.
Hmm.
Once the son disrespects the father, if the father does not stand firm in his structure and in his frame, then unfortunately, the son is going to think that this is okay, and now he's going to disrespect his father as much as possible, which I see a lot of, believe it or not, nowadays. Um, so that's a scary situation for the father, because now he has to figure out a way to control another man, and he can't look at him anymore as his son, because, you know, I'm sure that if you had a son, you'd look at him and you want to protect him. Um,
Yeah.
but if your son loses respect for you, whew, that's a hard one to come back from.
Absolutely.
Because getting that respect back is, it takes a lot of work. It takes years sometimes. Um, and I have a friend who went through that situation where, as he was growing up, somehow he decided to disrespect his father. He was like 17, 18. Excuse me. And as that happened, his father, I guess, was more along the lines of, okay, you want to be like that? That's fine. You're almost 18. You're a grown man. I'm not going to teach you boundaries, and you don't have to respect me. But that guy ended up going out in the street because it, you know, built up his, I don't know, false courage. I don't know what to call it. Because he could stand up to his father. Now he thought he could stand up to any other man. So he went out there. I think took him like a year, about a year and a half, for him to understand that not every man is the same. And he went out there and he said the wrong thing to the wrong guy, and that guy, I guess, was probably having a bad day that day. Also, he's, from what I remember, is one of the guys you didn't want to mess with. And he kind of had a little bit of a following because he was kind of a tough guy. We'll call him that. And
I see.
yeah, so he went. He tried to, since he stood up to his father and he disrespected his father for like a year, year and a half.
Yeah.
He thought he can go and disrespect this guy who's an authority out there. You know, not an official authority, but he just thought he was this, you know, a guy that most people stayed away from. And man, he learned a hard lesson that day. To the day I could have that conversation with him and tell him, so what were you thinking? You know, it was like, I literally thought I was invincible. He said, I thought that since I disrespected my father, I can go ahead and
Mhm.
disrespect anybody. And that day, I learned that I'm a man just like everybody else, and that I bleed
And you're
just like
mortal.
everybody else.
Mortal. You're not Superman. You're not walking out there. You're not fist. You're not impervious to injuries.
Yes, yes,
Right?
yes. I mean, but see, to me, in that instance, I blame the father for not. So this guy learned a really hard lesson that day, which was good, but I believe his father should have taught him that lesson. So
Yeah.
he wouldn't have, because his father kind of let him go out in the street and said, okay, you want to mess with people, you're going to find out. Instead of his
Hmm.
father teaching it, which I think it would have been better, because um, he would have learned the lesson with his father. He would have been grateful with his father. Instead, he's
Yeah.
grateful to some guy that made him see the light. And he did go back and apologize to his father, of course. Now they have a spectacular
Made him
relationship.
see the light,
Yeah, yeah.
the
That
stars.
that guy hit him so hard that he made him see that light.
You saw the light.
Yeah, the lights
Oh man.
the lights turned off at first, but then he was able to
Shit.
see it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I had
and
one of those before. It would sure
yeah,
hurt.
yeah. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. So like, if the father would have stepped up, but to me right there is a situation, is just kind of a different situation, because let's say I was his father. If I was his father, I would have grabbed him and taught him a really nice lesson that particular time, that day, so that way he never does it to anybody else again. The problem is his father kind of let it go, and he was like, okay, you're gonna learn on your own. So it's kind of a evil way to teach a kid. Let him find out on
Yeah.
his own. Good luck.
Mhm.
um but then again, you can understand, this guy is practically a man. If I sit here and step in front of him, he's never gonna learn his lesson. So it's like,
Mhm.
there's two ways to look at that particular situation.
Yeah.
um so, but again, it comes back to the same thing we keep talking about, which is the respect. And as a man, once that respect is lost, you believe you can do whatever you want on that man, which is what he tried to do to his dad. And then his dad never stood up to him, and then some other guy did.
Yeah.
And then he came back and apologized to his father, and now he respects his father. you know and they
Yeah.
they talk about the situation, not all the time, but when they did talk about the situation, from what he told me, it was always in a positive way, where his dad told him, man, I let you learn by letting you go, literally is what he
Mhm.
said. So I can understand his
Yeah.
point of view. Would I have done it
Yeah.
personally? Would I have done it that way? No, I would have taught my child. But that's just me. That's who I am. So,
Yeah.
but again, it comes back to the respect thing, you know, and then being disrespectful can sometimes humble you,
Yeah.
and as a man, sometimes we need to be humbled.
Yeah.
Your friend that broke his tooth, he got
Hmm.
humbled, you know,
He did.
he
He
got
most
humbled,
definitely did.
right? And then my friend, he got humbled.
Hmm.
Your other friend who, showing up, not showing up when he feels like it, he's got humbled by losing his friends or the people around him that trust him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we get humbled, and if we don't learn from it, we're gonna get humbled regardless of it. As men,
Mhm.
nobody's gonna come and save us. We don't
Yeah.
have that luxury that women have. We're not a damsel in
Hmm.
distress. Nobody's gonna come and save us. We have to save ourselves. We have to depend on ourselves. Like we said last time, it's all about being self-reliant.
Yeah.
We have to lean on ourselves. We have to be that structure, because if we don't have that respect for ourselves, nobody else will give it to us.
That's a fact.
And a lot of times they say that respect is not given, it's earned. So
Hmm.
you have to learn, to earn your own respect, so then that way other people can respect you.
Yeah.
So when you get into a relationship, if you learn to respect yourself, believe it or not, that woman is going to respect you as well, because with respect, with a woman. Oh, here's a good situation. So we can tie this down and start, getting it to the end here. A good situation is this. I've heard guys say, well, it's better to be feared than loved, right?
Okay, Sonny from the Bronx Tale.
Right? I've heard guys say that, and it's usually the guys that are
I've heard other guys say that
yeah,
too.
well, it's
I
usually the guy that's not that tough, but he's trying to act like he's tough.
have.
Whatever.
Well, heck, yeah.
Anyway, so I've heard guys say that, right? But they don't understand. They don't understand this part of it. When a woman respects you, it's not just respect. It's more of a reverence. She reveres you. That means she wants to look up to you. That's what all these modern women are actually describing. When you really look at it, all these modern women that you see online and on TikTok and all that, they're all asking for this. I just want a guy that I can revere. Means a guy that they don't have to fear, right? But they can respect. A guy they could look up to. A guy that's a leader, that's going to do his thing, right? So when the respect is gone, when a woman cannot respect you, the relationship is over. There's no more relationship. It's done. It's over. Like, let it go. Because if she can't respect you, she's gonna trample all over you. She's going to.
That's right.
So when it comes down to maybe being feared is great. When you grow up in an environment where there's a lot of violence, okay, I can see your point. But when it comes down to being with your friends or people your peers, your colleagues, your co-workers, that doesn't work. It does nothing.
Yeah.
Because...
Yeah, exactly. Because fear does not guarantee that somebody is not going to betray you. As a matter of fact, people are more likely to betray somebody that they fear because they fear them and they want to get rid of them, right?
Exactly.
So dude, like, you just want everybody to fear you. So let me tell you something. If that's what you want, you're basically setting yourself up like Julius Caesar. You're gonna get literally, and well, hopefully not literally, but metaphorically stabbed by everybody. That's not the way to do it. Because if they respect you, they're not going to want to betray you because they respect you, because they know that they're better off with you, and it's not fear, it's respect.
Yes. So when you look at it that way, that's literally what all these women are asking for. Because they always say, where are all the good men? And it's because they can't find a guy they could look up to. That's it right there. Yeah. A guy that they can say, you know what, I'm very proud of who he is. Because the thing that most guys don't understand is women don't look at us like we look at them. We look at them and we say, wow, that looks good. Right?
Yes.
Women look at us and they're like, wow, I like his confidence. See the difference?
Yeah.
It's like, that's crazy. How do you see my confidence? What are you looking at that you can see my confidence? You know? That's crazy.
Demeanor.
Yeah, right? So that's what I'm saying. It's like, and most guys don't understand that. They're like, well, I gotta show her this. No, you don't have to show anything at all. You just have to respect.
She can already see it.
Yeah, if she sees that you respect yourself, believe you me, she will respect you. She will respect you because you respect yourself. And by her respecting you, she's going to be way more attracted to you. Believe it or not, most attractive guys, that confidence that women talk about is actually guys who respect themselves. Guys who do not have to lower themselves to a woman's tactics, to a woman's manipulation, to a woman's control. That is the guy that they love. That is the guy they'll do anything for. because they
Yeah.
respect him. It's respect.
Yeah.
And if you can't respect
Precisely.
yourself, like you know, I want to show. I tell you, hey, you know what? I'm gonna show up to your house. We're gonna do this and that. And I come, like you said, I come in at 10 at night, and we were supposed to meet in the morning. Oh, I was just taking a nap. Imagine
Yeah.
how a woman
Hmm.
looks at that guy,
Yeah. Like he's a lame. He ain't nothing. He ain't nobody.
right?
He can't commit to a simple plan. He can't even at least be punctual. He doesn't have the discipline to at least carry that out. He didn't have the discipline to get rest when he was supposed to, or better yet, he didn't just have the strength to go even though he is tired.
Yes.
You know, it's a lot of things. It's a lot of things. Yeah.
Yeah. So that respect he doesn't have for himself. Do you see what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Because he doesn't hold himself up to that standard. So it's
Exactly.
actually in him. That's what his. It's an internal thing, and women see that.
Yeah.
That's what women see.
Precisely.
You know,
Precisely.
because if you don't respect yourself, then you have no
Yeah.
confidence. You have no confidence. You gotta have
Exactly. See,
confidence to respect yourself.
precisely. Now, I used to think this little law here, I'm not sure if you're familiar with it or not, Robert Greene, The 48 Laws of Power. You ever heard of that one?
Yes, yes, I have. Excellent book, by the
Okay,
way.
well, yeah, absolutely it is. I I'm a big fan of that one. I have a tattoo inspired by it. But anyways, I don't remember the exact law this was, but avoid the unhappy and the unlucky. I used to think that that was very cruel and selfish advice, but dude, the more I'm getting on with life and understanding things better, that is one of the most valuable pieces of advice you could give anybody because it is true. You know, misery, uh, all that stuff, misfortune loves company. They don't want to better themselves. And if you try to give them all these tips of advice, they feel insulted because they don't want that. They just want to wallow in the pity bath. They just want to be there enjoying the misery. They don't want any of that. So therefore there's no confidence, there's no drive, there's no nothing. So who the hell wants to be around that? Such an unattractive quality, even for friends. You know what I mean? I don't want any friends that are like that. You know, I've had friends that were like that, and I got pretty damn tired of them. You know, like I mentioned this in a previous episode. I don't remember the exact one, but the guy told me that he wished he was me. I mean, good God, man. Can you imagine being a guy that literally wishes he was somebody else because he doesn't value himself?
He
To the
doesn't.
point where he doesn't even like his own existence. That's just pathetic.
Yeah, he doesn't
You
respect
know, like
himself.
damn. Yeah, and that's sad. And I tried with those people, but I finally realized, well, you know what? It's not anything that I could say or do. It's up to them. So, you know, God bless them. Hope they figure it out before their time is done. But, you know, well, I'm moving on with my life. You know,
Yeah.
I got my own problems, so I'm going forward.
Okay, that's good. So final thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Give some youngster out there some great knowledge about respect.
Okay. All right, my personal experiences with it. If you want to earn it, then give some of it. But don't just give it to anybody, though. You know, give it to people that are actually acting respect worthy, right? If they're being courteous with you, then show them respect. They'll give it back. You know, it's sometimes it's a give and receive type thing. You know, you gotta respect yourself as well. And those out there that see what you're doing, they will respect you. You know, they'll see what you're doing. You'll get along with them fine. But those that don't, that's because they're morons, right?
Yeah.
So if you're going out there with respect, you know, you're not going out there acting like an idiot, then the respectable people will notice you doing that and they will respect you, and same vice versa. So I guess in a bit of a nutshell, it's just a matter of throwing up the flag, and those who notice it, they notice it because they have it too. They're flying that same flag, and they get it. So that's what I have to say about that little analogy.
Okay, that's great. My closing thoughts are that respect is extremely important for a man. It's part of our structure.
Hmm.
If you can't respect yourself, nobody will respect you. If you're a father and you don't respect yourself, your kids are just going to disrespect you every single day. They're going to take advantage of you, manipulate you, and they're going to you're literally destroying their life by being a weak man.
Yep.
Learn to respect yourself so others can respect you. Your woman should respect you. She should look up to you. But you don't force her to look up to you. You act like a man. And that way she is
Yeah.
forced to do it. Because she'll see the confidence in you. She'll see the respect that you have for yourself. She'll see the value that you are. You know? And
Yeah.
it comes down to respect. Also be courteous to others and respect other people.
Yes.
Respect their boundaries, respect their
Mhm.
space. Respect their
Yes.
conversations, their thoughts. You don't have
Hmm.
to, just because they don't agree with you doesn't mean they must disappear from the earth. That just sounds crazy to me.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
so, you know, a main thing is learn to respect yourself. Read some books. Books have
Mm.
really helped me. Um, Bible is one of them. Um, and then from then on, you could go on to. I mean, there's so many books out there that help you. Uh, with respect, with how to respect yourself, with how to value yourself, how to love yourself.
That's right.
There's like a million books. There's a million YouTubers out there that show you how to do that. All we do is we're a metric of where to go and where you should be. Um,
Absolutely.
that's what we are. That's what we're here for. We're here to make sure that you follow that metric where you can measure yourself and be like, oh, okay, I'm almost there to become that man that I want to be or that I should be.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that's what we're here for. And again, if you have any comments down below, we want to thank the people that have been with us. Um, there's we'll say there's a big guy that's always helping us out. So I want to thank him. I appreciate him.
Hmm.
I appreciate you, mysterious man. I appreciate the shadow
Likewise.
man. I appreciate the shadow
Likewise.
man, even though he's not here. So these are people that I respect. That we're building something, and
We are.
I do nothing but respect them, and they do the same back. Surround yourself with people that respect you, and that
Yep.
way, believe it or not, you have the percentage of your success will be even greater. Because when
Absolutely.
you surround yourself with the right people, it makes life a lot easier.
Hmm.
All right.
Absolutely.
And with that said,
All right.
say your goodbye, sir.
All right. See y'all later. Thanks for listening. Well, always appreciated, however many of you are out there listening, and we hope that we're helping you out. Have a good one.
All right, man. Till the next time. Peace.
All right. Till next time. See ya.